Now, quite frankly, this is something that irks me and rubs me the wrong way. WWE creative not too fond, not too liking Backstage Heat on Paul Heyman's influence on storylines. Dave Meltzer reporting in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that there has been some controversy regarding Paul Heyman. And for that, I gotta say, you got to be freaking kidding me. His influence, his experience, his overall mindset, his brain. When you put Paul Heyman's mind to something, it works, it clicks. Now, yeah, sure, Paul Heyman has had his slip-ups. Paul Heyman has had his great ideas, his good ideas, and quite frankly, his bad ideas. But there is more to the report. Remember, if you want your comments or your shout-outs or your comments pinned, share, subscribe, smash the bell, and turn on all my notifications, because if it's not brash, it's trash. It's being reported that Brock Lesnar has a lot of pull, and as well as Paul Heyman has a lot of pull backstage over Brock Lesnar's booking, especially with Vince McMahon. Well, you would see that as a good thing. You'd see that as a positive. Heyman has a lot of input and influence to change the creative plans and convince Vince McMahon that heading in another direction is the right course of action. This has been a pivotal for Brock Lesnar, but a lot of people backstage don't like Heyman being able to pull the strings. Specifically, Heyman has had some backstage heat with WWE's creative team because they feel threatened by the pull that Paul has with the top powers that be. Yeah, but we've had guys like in the industry and pro wrestling in general, Hogan, Austin, Rock, Triple H. They've had their pull. They Randy Orton, I mean, let's dive more into the report, viewers and subscribers. The general feeling from WWE creative is that Brock Lesnar wouldn't put up a fight to work the angles that they come up for him, so having to deal with Paul Heyman complicates creative. Many of the people in creative don't want to work on Brock's angles because they know that Heyman will change their work anyway. Yeah, but even if Brock Lesnar does go according to plan, there's no way in heck that the WWE powers that be, the creative, can come up with something more compelling, engaging, and entertaining than what Paul Heyman has. And even though Brock Lesnar would go according to the plan and according to script, even if Paul Heyman wasn't there, you know it wouldn't be half as good. I mean, there's rumors that Paul Heyman was behind what happened at SummerSlam, where Brock Lesnar got absolutely demolished. So it looked like that other guys like Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman had a fighting chance. So I'm a little bit conflicted on this one. How could there be backstage heat? How could there be confliction on Paul Heyman? How could there be criticism on Paul Heyman, who is one of the greatest minds in the business when it comes to strategy and putting together a match? Necessarily, this one irks me. A lot of people may criticize Paul Heyman for complicating the process to let creative do their job. But on the other hand, and this is what I agree with, some people will question why WWE creative is fighting the chance to use Paul Heyman's experience, and with him being hands-on is a big reason why Brock Lesnar continues to be on top and one of the top draws in the WWE. Heading into WWE No Mercy, it seems that conflict between the two parties will continue and it will escalate. Why? What? Paul Heyman's influence and his overall, thought process. I mean, as a businessman, I know, back in the ECW days, I know there's talk of, late payments or past payments or overdue payments or the payments never showing up. But wasn't Paul Heyman head of creative or on the creative team of SmackDown? Wasn't Paul Heyman at one time writing SmackDown, and that's when SmackDown was doing really good, really solid, and then Vince McMahon said, we're going to back this up a little bit. We're going to back you up, Heyman. We don't want this to be so good. We don't want this to be as great. We don't want this to be as grand. So, like I said, Brock Lesnar, sure. Of course, and Brock Lesnar's going to go according to plan if Paul Heyman wasn't there, because look at all the money that Brock Lesnar's getting paid. But now it seems like it's a situation where, is there a failure to communicate? Is there... What does Brock Lesnar think about this? I mean, Brock Lesnar will go on either side of the venue because obviously with all the money that Brock Lesnar is being paid to show up, he'll listen to creative, he'll listen to Paul Heyman, but Paul Heyman is the mastermind behind this whole masterpiece because he's the one that does the talking, he's the one that does the manipulating, he's the one that does the selling. So at the end of the day, I call myself prolific, consistent, and dedicated, but Paul Heyman has been a huge driving force behind Brock Lesnar. And the fact that, Paul Heyman you know, has a lot of pull backstage over Brock Lesnar, especially with Vince McMahon, to me would be a good sign. But like I said, it seems like there's conflict with creative. So, I mean, you know what? Just let Paul Heyman do what Paul Heyman wants to do. Because when you put the, you know, you put your trust into the creative team. And listen, I know it's not easy. I mean, I know there's you know 20 or 30 writers. But when it comes down to one writer and one mindset and one goal, you got to go with Paul Heyman. Your comments, your opinions, smash that bell, turn on all my notifications for more of the brass, Sean's View Unity, where I work around the clock to keep it prolific, consistent, and dedicated. Stay tuned. More to come. Your thoughts, your comments, and your feelings.